Welcome back to the Grow Smarter podcast, where we talk about all things HubSpot marketing and business growth. Today, I'm here with Lockie, one of our digital marketing specialists here at Pixeled, and Josh is our content specialist. And today, we're going to talk about all things marketing trends of 2026. So let's have a quick chat, guys. Let's talk about what's going on and what we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah, so obviously AI, everyone's talking about it.
I was talking about it.
Were
today.
you?
Yeah.
With ChatGPT?
Yeah. We're having a good conversation about it.
Yeah. I just think it's useful in a lot of contexts, but I think in terms of the content creation, I'm personally seeing in my feeds a lot, being in the social media echo chamber, people are pushing back on it a little bit. People are wanting more authenticity. It's not the AI generated content. Sure, there are some ones that are hilarious, like the Michael Jackson in KFC. Great, good fun. Is it going to sell KFC? Actually, as I say that, probably. But it's KFC, Their slogan is "I don't care," so they can do whatever they want. But yeah, I think that people are going to want to see more authenticity. There's a really great campaign that was launched by Webjet in late 2025 where they took these talking suitcases and really made them human and gave them all these personalities and stuff. And it was really charming and authentic because they used stop motion animation, real in-camera effects. I think, Josh, you and I were talking about the Amasim ad earlier today. They could have easily done the talking suitcases with AI, but they've gone for that stop motion to make it seem more authentic and more natural. Just like that Amasim ad that we were talking about.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's seen that Amasim ad. It's really weird. It's very orange, but it's very clearly AI generated. Like they've just put a few prompts in, got a few people to sit at their computers and react, and it's really sort of not human feeling at all. Like it's really off-putting. Similar with the menu log ad with Bliss and Esso, the Australian rappers that are going around. Some really uncanny AI generated moments in that ad that, I don't know, when I'm watching it makes me feel a bit cold and puts me off compared to other ones that are a bit more authentic.
It is getting better, and I think that's the problem, is that I think shortly, or probably in the next year or two, it's going to be hard to distinguish between what's real, what's not real.
Josh, with all the videos that we were just talking about, the Amasim one, Bliss and Esso, and Tony's saying it's getting a lot harder to tell the difference between an AI video and a real video. As a copywriter, you're very experienced in that field. Do you think in 2026 AI is going to start bleeding more into copy, or we'll be seeing more human copy? Where do you think we're heading?
Yeah, well, I do think, in 2026 we're going to see more and better AI videos on TV and in internet ads and things like that. But to be honest, this might be a bit of a controversial take, I'm not sure, but I honestly think that AI copy is possibly going to plateau, and maybe even is plateauing right now. I feel like a lot of the AI copy that I'm reading is sounding very same-ish, and I feel like I'm not the only person noticing that. I feel like a lot of people are noticing that. And again, like you said, Lockie, there's possibly going to be that pushback against that. I don't know. I just feel like in 2026, we're going to see the gap between advertisers who are purely using AI for their copy and genuinely experienced, talented copywriters. I feel like we're going to see that gap widen.
What's the difference? How can you tell what's AI and what's not AI with copy?
You see a lot of phrases pop up time and time again. Like every step of the way, like in today's digital landscape, even M dashes, although I am a fan of M dashes, I've stopped using them because it tends to tell a lot of people that a person is using AI. But I think maybe the number one giveaway is it just sounds like everything else. It sounds like 80% of the stuff that's out there. And so anything that's unique and creative now, where we had an entire internet full of human voices and unique voices, now it's all getting very same-ish. And so whenever I see something feel original and feel unique, that's what stands out to me, and that's what makes me want to, I don't know, follow them on social media or follow that brand.
Yeah, it's very repetitive, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you sort of noticed?
But yeah, it comes back to authenticity. Like I actually had a really weird experience with a business last night. I got a notification on my phone that says so-and-so business has replied to your review. I'd taken my time out and given them a really nice 5-star review a couple of months ago, and it was quite long. It wasn't just like a 5 stars, great place. Like I, went into specifics about what they did at the service that they provided, and they'd sent me this massive chunk of text back, and I just looked at it. I'm like, that's AI, 100% AI, and I felt a bit dejected where I've taken time out of my day to leave you a nice review, and you can't take time out of your day to appreciate your customers.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a disconnect there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's so many automations now, right? Like it's literally press a button, set this up so they don't have to go in and do it.
Yeah. So authenticity for me is going to be a really big trend in 2026. What's some stuff that you're seeing with clients so that you can see being bigger in 2026?
Yeah, look, we recently just went to the HubSpot Inbound, which was over in San Fran, and one of the big things I was talking about there was creating more specific content for AEO, which is AI engine optimization. So, and we're starting to see it already, especially in HubSpot. We can see where audiences are coming from. So if someone's searching on ChatGPT, we're actually getting leads from ChatGPT now, and we can actually see that within HubSpot. So creating specific content, whether it's blogs, whether it's social media, even with our ads. And a lot of it is just creating the question within the first few sentences of any sort of blogs or any sort of copy that we're doing. And then what happens is ChatGPT will grab that information and use it as the information that people are searching for in their searches in AI. So creating deliberate content for AI is going to be massive, I think, next year.
Yeah, and tables are another big one that I've heard AI pulls from for resources. Josh, I know you worked that into one of the Pixel blogs earlier this week.
Yeah.
Also, just a side note, I love how ChatGPT is kind of becoming like the brand name, like the generic name for AI. It's kind of funny. It's like duct tape or escalators was actually a brand name. So fun fact for you there.
Tissues is a
Kleenex.
brand name as well. Is it?
Kleenex is the brand name.
Yeah, that's right. I got there halfway. But yeah, it's massive, and especially we noticed it with blogs. What else are we noticing it with? Just content in general. I think anything, even for websites, landing pages, that sort of stuff as well. We're adding questions at the start of most of the landing pages now. So any opportunity chat can get to grab the information, it's really handy. So
yeah, well, I think even getting the answers quickly. I can't remember what I was looking for the other day. I Googled something and I found a whole bunch of web pages and I didn't get the answer.
Yeah.
I didn't get the answer because the pages were they were really good, really well written, really well designed web pages, but they'd stuffed it so much with, it wasn't even fluff. It was just content to keep me reading on the page. It's like, okay, well, this is only at the top of the search engine results page because people are reading it so much to find the answer. And I'm not actually getting the answer because it was a silly little throwaway question, something like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving up and going to ChatGPT.
Yeah. It's like you can Google any sort of question like how to grow potatoes, and those blogs that you click on will all start with, we've all tried to grow potatoes. Like
my grandma used to grow the greatest potatoes. It brings me back to my childhood. Jump to recipe.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing with ChatGPT and AI, because it's so question and answer focused, is writing those answers early in your blogs, but also jumping into forums, because ChatGPT pulls so much information from like Reddit and Quora, even like LinkedIn. And so I think maybe a big pattern that we're going to see is brands jumping into Reddit and Quora to answer questions so that their answers feature in AI overviews.
It's interesting though, because Reddit, I feel like is really adverse to advertising.
Yeah.
Because for people who don't use Reddit, you can actually go into someone's profile and see their entire post and comment history. So if you go, hey guys, how good is this brand? Someone's going to jump in and go, hang on, you're posting this across 12 different subs over the last week. Like, get out of here. Like, stop trying to sell us stuff. And I actually had an interesting experience on Reddit with what I assumed was AI. I was looking for a brand of like straight razors, like safety razors, and I posted in r/shaving. I'm getting all these bumps. What am I doing wrong? Do I need a different product? And I got all these like replies that were like really specific about really specific brands. And like, maybe it's just a really nerdy subculture that I didn't know about. And people are really into their shaving, which could be one. But, I was getting answers like, hey, great question. Thanks so much for asking. I'm glad you're taking interest in this topic. Here's my thing on this brand. And I was like, I reckon 80% of the comments were AI brands.
Oh, they're all just bot farms.
Yeah.
Just loading them
Totally.
up. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, interesting. All right. Well, look, let's have a quick break. We'll grab Parla. Parla's going to come in. She's got some great insight on this topic as well. So give us 5 seconds, guys, and we'll be back with Parla. All right, guys, we're back. We've just pushed Josh out, and we've actually brought Parla in. Parla's one of our digital marketing specialists here at Pixeled.
Digital marketing strategist.
Digital marketing strategist. Well, she's a digital marketing expert as well. I reckon she's got a few titles.
Now I feel nervous.
We've set the bar high.
But P, so we've been chatting about marketing trends for 2026, and we were chatting about this earlier, actually. So it'd be great to get some of your insight on what you think's happening next year.
Yeah, well, I think definitely we were mentioning before that since HubSpot Inbound Conference, I feel like they already presented what's going to happen next year. And it was something that we were all sort of like suspecting that was going to happen. So they just launched formally the new Growth Playbook for marketing, and they call it Loop. And it's actually quite interesting. And I feel like we've been doing a lot of changes to sort of fit in that model, which is nothing too different from what we were previously doing. But I guess as we were talking about AI, I think the game has changed a lot. So one of the things, really quickly, that new sort of like framework, it's about a model that it starts with the express, which is the stage number 1, then tailor, amplify, and evolve. So basically, I feel like one point that is important is the first one, which is touch a little bit on what we were talking before. Express is basically knowing the tone of voice of your brand. So now that, AI help us to create more content, generate things faster. And then what happened? Everything sounds the same. Nothing feels original. The engagement is actually dropping because of that. So now it's like, okay, let's really be more thorough about how do we sound and what the personality of a brand is like. And I think this is where it comes, I feel like, the balance, because we use AI here as well. I think it's the way how you use it. So there is actually a very, I guess systematic, even you can do this through HubSpot with brand voice, which is basically probably like a more sophisticated way to prompt your AI. You can train your AI to become and match that tone of voice of your brand by being very clear with the directions. And I'm not talking about be friendly and smart. That's not going to make it right. So I think we've been working heaps on that across the board with our clients. And then amplify, I guess this is what we do need to rely on AI, which we also do a lot of Pixel, is this need now that you need to be everywhere. So every channel, we need to make sure that we are there, that the frequency is, like significant or relevant enough, and that also that the content that you're presenting matches what people are expecting on that platform, which is very different. That being said, I will never, advise a client literally to be everywhere. There are some spaces that it doesn't make sense to be in. Yep. Sometimes I even wonder why or when it became a thing that every single business needs to be on Instagram or like Facebook, for example. Like, it just sometimes it feels forced. But yeah, basically it's like every channel that you have available that it suits your brand, you need to make sure that we are maximizing. And that's when AI comes in and help us. You might do like a core piece, and then we'll use AI to help us, do it. For example, this podcast, you could copy the transcript and help you to make a blog about it. But at least it's not completely AI generated, because these are our own words. So that will be the main one.
Yeah. It's got to be relevant to your business too, right? So there's no point in, if your target audience is people over 50, you're probably not going to be pumping all your information or pumping all your energy into TikTok, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I feel like, it's probably the sweet balance of like leverage the best of AI and also keep it authentic. I think now more than ever, I don't know, I imagine myself like in near future of businesses advertising, we'll do everything with humans and being like, wow. It's kind of like when you go to like, you know, to a restaurant, everything is like handmade, whatever. Like it's that sort of like, you know, I think it's going to bounce back. But for us, for marketers, I feel like it's a tool that when we leverage to, you know, make decisions or do things faster or like, you know, comprehend data and get those analysis faster is where we really need it, honestly. Otherwise, we just will be behind. And whatever we do, yeah, it's great. You can write a great piece of blog, but if you don't have a lot of more component moving, it's just not going to really move the needle. And yeah, and then the last stage was evolve. And I think this is where the model again goes with AI. Okay, we have all this data and all these agents and AI, you know, to help us analyze data. And basically, I guess perhaps in the past, or what I remember when I started working in marketing, you would, you know, have some significant months to measure a campaign. But I feel like no one has the financial stability anymore or the patience to like wait for that long for that to, you know, to give results. So I think now that is sort of the urgency of constantly being, you know, reviewing and implementing changes sort of straight away.
Yeah. And there's some great tools in HubSpot for that as well, yeah?
Yeah. So as I said, there's like this brand tone of voice where you can help like HubSpot AI to really know your brand and help you out with that. I've been also using a lot of like, for example, when you want to create a list for your email marketing, there's like, you can also get those segments by AI. So you can literally prompt what you need and it will help you to make that cut with those specific needs easier. So let's say I'm going to say an example. I just want a list of someone who has visited my website and went to the marketing page, but it also was in the last 40 days, something like that. So it will really help to make that process faster, which I used to, for example, one of the biggest change, I used to do maybe one email newsletter per month for my clients. And now lately I've been doing 6 because they're all different segments. And I try to use that tool to help me to get that sort of up and running.
Yeah, that's awesome. We I was lucky enough to go to Inbound this year, and
in San Francisco.
In San Francisco, yeah, it was
very
good.
cool.
Just me and Nathan. So there was actually a bunch of us supposed to go, but it was only ended up me and Nathan. But it was really cool, and one of the things they talked about, especially with the new HubSpot tool, is that the customization for different clients. So it can actually take one of your clients in HubSpot and then research it, and then it'll actually bring back data and say, okay, this company's just had a grant. There's this new conference coming up for this client. He's going to attend it. And it starts just collecting all this information. So then when you're creating emails going out, it can actually customize these emails for those clients, which is just...
Is this the meeting scheduler tool, the meeting prep tool?
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers, man.
That's
and
great.
then like as you're talking to your client, you can bring it up and it'll bring up notes and stuff while you're on a phone call to them. And it's pretty bonkers, man.
It's almost like a big thing that's coming out of all this AI buzz is like accessibility. Yeah. Like Paola was saying, you know, you can use it to create lists. You're saying you can use it for like research clients. I know that Meta is really pushing their AI. Like I know Paola and I are getting almost a little bit frustrated where you're trying to do an ad and it's making all these weird AI variations and turning on things that you don't want turned on. But what that does is it makes it easier for people to get into actually marketing. You don't need to know your way around the ins and outs and every nut and bolt of the platform to actually get your ads live, which, you know, is a great thing for the platforms. Maybe it's a good thing for us in the digital marketing space as well, but it's definitely going to make things more competitive, I think, as well.
Absolutely.
It's a little tedious though, isn't it? Like you're sort of going through those double checking that things are turned off, turned on, and then they hide the buttons to turn them off. And
I made some today and they were it was for a specific client which had one of their team members on the graphic, and they just replaced the person with this AI generated thing. I was like, that's a bit strange.
Yeah.
It could work in some contexts, but when we're specifically talking about a specific person at this specific business, I don't really want an AI generated person.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got room to grow, hasn't it? Room to improve.
And another thing that, you know, like a very, I guess, actionable tip is that, you know, maybe in the past we did interview our clients to write our blogs and everything, but now more than ever, I don't like creating any piece that doesn't have a proper quote from our clients or thought of interview before writing the piece, because it's so easy now with the AI inundated of this very top level basic content that you really want something that it'll be different and it'll be original and it'll be at least new, because I feel like that's the risk of AI over time. We're just feeding AI with more AI content, so there's not going to be anything sort of new. So I feel like that also, you know, it touched a lot of points like authenticity, like Loki said before, and having something that it actually feels natural and makes you want to read it.
Yeah, it really personalizes the copy, doesn't it? It really personalizes that piece of content. It's good.
Yeah. And lastly, I feel like one marketing trend, which I think now that we have a little bit of a more clear idea of how to use AI and these tools, is going to be, I guess, the opportunity for small businesses to grow faster, to have, if you know, you get into it and you understand that and you know how to use them, you're probably going to be able to do a lot of work that perhaps in the past you couldn't really or afford it. So I think in that sense, that's probably the only or the main thing about AI that makes me a little bit more optimistic, that it gives smaller teams a chance to scale and show off faster.
Yeah, that's massive.
Definitely.
Yeah, nice. All right, guys. I think we ticked a lot of boxes today. I think that was great. Let's wrap it up. But it was a pleasure to have you all on, and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, Tony.
See
Thanks,
you next
Paula.
year.
Thanks, guys.